Welcome back for another video. Bench boosts and triple captains active this week, and a ton of transfers made among the top all-time managers. So let's break it all down and look at what the best managers around the world are doing this week. Andrew Moore is having the season of a lifetime. He scored 56 points last week, which was actually a grey arrow. How often do you see a grey arrow in overall rank? There's now 21 experts in the top 10k with Andrew, another top season, and there's exactly 70 in the top 50k. I'd have to go back and double check this, but I think this might be the best ever season rank wise among our participants. So yeah, again, a huge thank you to them for providing their valuable data every week for free. Of course, there's plenty that haven't had the season they'd hoped. I want to give them recognition as well, and I'm sure they'll bounce back. The overall average score was 50 points last game. The average expert score was 57. Well done if you beat them. It's mass transfers this week. Only 17% are going to roll, 32% making one transfer, 24% are making two, 20% are making three, and 7% are making four or more. Not a single hit taken though, which is impressive considering all that transfer activity, plus it's a double game week. How many hits have you guys taken this season, and have they paid off, or is that something that you're sort of looking to reduce next season? We very rarely see the top all-timers take hits, which is a takeaway to consider if you do love a hit. So then, who are the most bought and sold players of all those moves that have been made? Saka comes in with the top spot, exactly 50% buying him, and that means Palmer, unsurprisingly, the most sold of 54%. So 4% basically not buying Saka or already own him. The Palmer to Saka switch is really popular and it does make a lot of sense. We've seen Saka's minutes gradually climbing since returning from injury. It was 10 minutes and it was 23, and then it was 45, and then it was 58 in the Champions League. And he's produced a goal in each of his last two games, the two starts in all comps, plus he got the assist against Fulham. Realistically, he's definitely not getting 90, so perhaps 65 to 70 is the next step up on his growing minutes. Is that enough to be a clear upgrade over Palmer this week? Well, the experts are confident it is. Palmer, of course, he's on pens. We'd expect him to stay on them despite the miss last game week, and he should get 90 minutes. Saka should get, I guess, 65 to 70 if you were going to predict, but Gyökeres on pens if he starts. Failing that, Game Week 37 is a good week to target that move if you've got other priorities this week, with Arsenal home to Burnley. 13% buying Gyökeres, 10% buying Gabriel, 7% Saliba. So, what about the double game week players then? From Man City, 15% buying Cherki, one is buying Haaland, one is buying Doku, and that's it from City. Obviously, they're pretty much all tripled up already, in fairness. From Palace, 19% buying Lacroix. He's the clear favourite among the Palace defenders, and surprisingly it's just 1% buying Munoz, 6% are buying Canvo, 3% buying the goalkeeper Henderson, 1% buying Richards. But yeah, it's that Semenyo to Cherki switch. Like, the underlying data for Cherki's been superior recently. Semenyo's had a couple of early subs, so you can understand the switch. It's not the end of the world to keep Semenyo though, by all means. So the average expert won't have more than one Palace player, and the majority are actually ignoring Palace entirely. We all know this story of their motivation levels being in Europa. Currently recording this on Thursday morning, and we're yet to find out if they progressed to the final, leading 3-1 for the first leg though. The final will be played on the 27th of May, which is just 3 days after Game Week 38. Only 3 days. So it's safe to say if Palace reach the final, then we can expect significant rotation in their final game of the season. And it really lines up great from an Arsenal perspective, because they face Palace on the final day, and there's a much bigger gap from Arsenal's Game Week 38 fixture to the Champions League final. Hypothetically, if the league is wrapped up, perhaps we will see some Arsenal rotation, so that's still a little risk there. But it's not enough to say let's ignore Arsenal players, is it? And you think there's a strong chance it goes down to the last game to decide it. The other names in the most bought list are Welbeck, Van Heck, Hinchelwood, Gross and Kadioglu. All Brighton players, and they are home to Wolves, who haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 6. And they're also rock bottom for expected goals over that span, so all positions look good for Brighton. And Jose Sa likely to miss out again with an ankle injury, plus they're already relegated. So yeah, Wolves and Burnley remain really strong fixtures to target in these final 3 game weeks. So just looking at those final 3 then, Burnley's last 3 are Villa, then Arsenal, then Wolves. So there's a few options at Villa. There's Watkins, Rodgers, Cash. Again, they're playing in the Europa League first, so don't make an early transfer. The Arsenal game is the big one, right? Wouldn't be surprising if that ends like 4-0, would it? Burnley and Wolves do play each other on the final day, so I mean, you can still target each other there, right? If you need a cheap punt, there's Anthony, there's Fleming from Burnley. They're under 5.3 mil. That one it could be a great game from an attacking perspective, given they're both already going down together, so the pressure's off, so to speak. Wolves have got Brighton this week, as I say, so plenty of good picks there to consider. Låbakk, Hinshelwood, Gross, Van Heck, Kadioglu, Verbruggen, all really strong choices. And if you're looking to buy a Brighton defender, and you're looking for the upside, go Kadioglu. And they've got Fulham again with 37, so basically Wilson and Anderson. Leno as well, if you need a keeper, is great. So let's take a look at chips. 24% have got the bench boost active, 22% have got the triple captain active, so that's practically all chips used up now. Jamie McDonald has got his bench boost active, and he's led the Experts League at times this season. He went for the free hit 33, wildcard 35, bench boost 36 strategy, and he's currently ranked 1.3k in the world. And he shared his team with us and some thoughts ahead of the double game week. He's lined up with Verbruggen, O'Reilly, Munoz, Gabriel, Richards, Lacroix, Cherky, Bruno, Saka, Haaland and Calvert-Lewin. And on his bench, he's bench boosting Raya, Anderson, Tavernier and Thiago. In hindsight, I chose the wrong strategy and I ended up with two big red arrows in Game Week 33 and 34. And I slipped out of the top 1k for the first time since Game Week 13. However, I thought my team looked good for 32 and 34, so no major regrets, and I'm hoping to make some good ground on the bench boost this week. I'll be bringing in Låbakk this week, and I'm just weighing up whether it's going to be for Calvert-Lewin or Thiago. It's most likely going to be DCL I sell, despite Thiago's fixture this week. My bench boost will likely be Raya against West Ham away, Anderson home to Newcastle, Tavernier away to Fulham, and Thiago away to Man City. I'm not expecting too much. I think I'll be happy with 15 points. I went triple Palace defence on wildcard 35, which doesn't look so smart now. Hopefully there's not too much rotation there. The rest of the team looks pretty nice with double Arsenal defence, Saka and Cherky already in place, so I'm ready to attack the final few game weeks. Thanks Jamie, and good luck with the top 1k finish and bench boost. Game week 36, captaincy next, and it's another short and sweet one this week. 98% of the top all-timers are back in Haaland, 2% O'Reilly. I mean, Man City's clean sheet odds are great for the double game week, given they're both home fixtures, both are absolute must-wins. So it has got potential, but yeah, of course Haaland's upside is obviously superior typically, and it's very high risk, high reward to go against him. But if you are chasing, it's the sort of thing you might want to consider. No one considering Cherky though. Now, given the triple captaincies at play at some ranks, just captaining Haaland won't actually be enough for a green arrow, and every point that Haaland gets this coming game week will actually impact your rank negatively. So moving on to the experts template team for game week 36 then. It's a really stacked team this week. How many players have you got from the team? It's Verbruggen, O'Reilly, Lacroix, Gabriel, Van Heck, Saka, Cherky, Bruno, Gross, Haaland and João Pedro. The 11th player is quite debatable, isn't it? Like, we've got a bench of Darlow, Hill, Tavernier and DCL, and you could make a case for starting any of those bench players over João Pedro away to Liverpool. It almost looks like a free hit team with the triple Brighton, City, a couple Palace, Bruno, and a Palace player included there. So, in terms of the changes, Senesi, Palmer, Semenyo and Struijk have all left the team, 4 changes, and in comes Lacroix, Gabriel, Saka and Cherky. Haaland's 99% ownership is almost a rounding error here. There's basically one expert who's been doing a no Haaland challenge for a bit of fun this season. That's Stuart, and he's 6.8k on top of that. This game week will obviously be very tough if Haaland does well, but getting to 6.8k with no Haaland, and by the way also no Salah all season is crazy work. Obviously no Salah has actually worked out fine, but from game week 1 that looked crazy or very very bold to go no Salah, let alone no Haaland as well. It does go to show playing your own way really can work at times. The best example of that is Ben Crabtree, who's an Everton fan, and he famously won FPL without owning a single Liverpool player the entire season out of spite as an Evertonian. Let's finish up with final thoughts and tips. Here's what the top all-time managers wanted to say to you. Amun Powell is another expert who's bench boosting. He says, I'm bringing in 3 Brighton to go with 3 Palace and 3 City, and I'm hoping that the late bench boost can slingshot me past those at wildcard and 32. There's so many great punts this week, and I think it's going to be quite a high scoring week, even outside of teams doubling. Zambada FPL says, I think 1 Palace player is enough, since they're really on the beach. I prefer using my free transfer to target better teams with something to play for. FPL Obsessed Family says, the real winners between now and the end of the season will be the ones who can target the teams with the right motivation. It's getting increasingly tricky with lots getting closer to being decided. The Conqueror says, I think Saka is building up his minutes, so a switch from Palmer to him is a no-brainer for me. I still don't know who to buy between Canvo and Lacroix, but Canvo just opens up a path where I could buy Gyökeres in Game Week 37. If I go with Lacroix then in Game Week 37, I'll have to sell him and buy another Arsenal defender. Semenyo to Turkey is purely for money for next moves. If I don't need it, then I won't do it probably. FPL Vinja says, for the first time, I'm in the top 10k, and this week I have to protect my rank as I don't have any chips left. Brighton assets have got something to play for with decent fixtures, so 2 attackers are coming into my team. I hope that I can survive this week and have a strong finish. And lastly, Joe Jenkins says, it's the time of the season to look at your mini-league rivals teams and strategize how you're going to crush them. Luke, I know you watch these videos, I'm coming for you. Thanks for watching guys as always, see you soon for the next one.